hard time makes hard people, and people need leaders right now. Hey guys, thank you for being on today. This is Rummy. We're going to be talking about the top industry people in real estate right now, from mortgages, inspectors, as well as title people. And I got top agents around the country too. We really want to deliver something that way that you could take away with what we are doing right now to keep our mindset right, and what we're doing in the virtual world to keep moving forward. And I want to introduce everyone in here. So everyone, just introduce yourself. Let's start with Maria first.
Hey, good morning, guys. My name's Maria. I work at Realty Resource Solutions. We're a title insurance company in New York, and we love what we do here.
Awesome. David.
My name is David Upchurch. I own a real estate company called David Upchurch Real Estate, powered by eXp Realty. We are in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we have a small team of about 6 agents, and we are trying to stay positive during this very difficult time.
Hey, Sumit, how are you?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. This is Sumit. I'm with Allied Mortgage. We're a small mortgage company based out of Philadelphia. I'm based in Long Island. And exactly, David, what you said, during these difficult times, we're just trying to stay positive, stay open for business, here to help anybody having any problems with mortgages, payments, things like that. And good to be on here, Rami. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anthony.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony Robinson. I'm the CEO and founder of a company called eCapture Incorporated. We develop a technology called Open, which is a digital signing platform.
Good. Mandeep, how are you doing?
Good. My name's Mandeep Kaur. I'm an attorney in New York, been practicing for the last 19 years. I've seen all the ups and downs, and we are still working, and we're going to make sure everything gets done.
Awesome. Peter, what's up, brother?
Hey, Rami. My name is Peter Boskus. I'm a broker of a small residential real estate company called Red Cedar Real Estate in Baltimore, Maryland.
Chip.
Chip Watson, Jersey Shore Real Estate Experts, brokered by eXp Realty, down here at the Southern Jersey Shore, making dreams come true still during this virus.
Hey, Joshua.
Hey guys, how are you? Josh Stone, Stone Home Inspections, located in Yorktown Heights, New York. Recently retired from the NYPD, just in time to avoid this disaster. Doing inspections. Most of the ones I'm doing are either vacant homes, and I'm doing an inspection. They're getting accepted offers, never even seen the house in person.
Awesome, awesome. Cody.
What's up, guys? Cody Wallace in Muncie, Indiana, realtor. Been doing it for 5 years. Thankfully, my state classifies me as essential, so we can still go out and show homes and everything.
Lucky you, lucky you. All right, guys, my name is Rummy, and you know me, I'm from New York with eXp Realty, have one of the top teams here. And, you know, we're going to start with Peter. And the reason I'm going to start with Peter is that Peter is, in the very beginning, came out with Metaport, and we were like, what the hell is this big virtual thing that you're talking about, and how important it is right now. And what he was doing before and what he's doing right now on his videos. And you go to his website, he has an amazing website where he actually taking a lot more videos than anybody that's out there. So Peter, what were you thinking at that time, and why were you thinking about this whole 360 virtual tour?
Yeah, so we actually got a Matterport camera when they were first released, which was roughly 5, almost 6 years ago. And we've been using them on every listing since. And we use it as a differentiator. We're a smaller company. So for us to compete with the larger national companies, it was just something we felt we should add to every listing so that when we're meeting with sellers, we can show that we're providing more value than other people. So we actually own the camera in-house, which was beneficial. We have a on-staff photographer. So one of the things that we do that's different than everybody else is we actually have a full-time salaried employee that's our photographer. So the benefit to that is when we take a new listing, he takes all the listing photos, he does our video walkthrough, he does drone photography, the Matterport tour. He does all that in-house. So we get it done whenever we want to, as many pictures, as few pictures, whatever we want. But he also shoots a lot of our company videos. So if we're doing spotlights on local businesses and that kind of thing, he's able to do all that. So that was beneficial for us because when everything started shutting down, a couple things happened. So not every agent was using Matterport tours. Everybody's scrambling to get those done now, but there's a limited amount of cameras out there, and a lot of the photographers are overwhelmed because everybody's trying to jump on that train. But the few photographers in the area that actually have it, they're limited in what they're able to do. So that kind of helped us a bit as far as that's concerned. Now, one of the other things that we do right now is we use 360-degree cameras for for our clients. So this is Insta360 camera. Rico makes a couple cameras that are very similar. Everywhere is different right now. I was talking with Upchurch a few minutes ago, and I guess everything is still okay for them as far as showings go. In Maryland, we were kind of shut down for about a week, where agents were still allowed to visit properties, but clients were not. So what we kind of have adapted now right now is we're using these 360-degree cameras. We go out to the property, we'll shoot pictures and video with these, upload them to YouTube, to private YouTube link for our clients. And when they're watching the video, they can actually drag the screen. Or if you're looking on your camera, you can move your camera around and the view of the video actually moves. So it's essentially like the clients are in the house. And it's 4K resolution, so it looks a lot better than FaceTime or anything like that. So what we're doing here is we'll go to the house ahead of time, do those videos for our clients, and then if they decide after seeing the video that they're still interested in the house, then we'll schedule that in-person viewing. Just to kind of minimize the number of people going into each and every house. It minimizes, potential exposure for the sellers and all that too.
Go ahead, David. You want to say something?
Hey, yeah. So, we are essential. It's weird because North Carolina, we had our main county here in Charlotte. It's called Mecklenburg County. They came out with rules prior to the governor coming out with rules. So, and their rules was real estate is not essential unless you're already under contract. So if a buyer was already under contract, they could go to the inspection, they could go to the closing, but nobody could go and look at a home at all. But that was just for Mecklenburg County. So to make it even more confusing, then the governor came out for the entire state and said that real estate is essential and we could continue to do showings. But the county supersedes the governor if the restriction is harsher, which just makes it thoroughly confusing. So if you live in Mecklenburg County and you're a realtor, you can't leave and go show a home in a different county. So it's really, really confusing here in the Charlotte area. However, I'm in a county south of Mecklenburg. We are essential. We are continuing to show homes. However, even like Cody said, they're essential there in Indiana. We still have a huge drop in the number of showings for our listings. Our buyer's agents are not nearly as busy as our listing agents, and our listing agents are still taking listings. I mean, obviously at a reduced rate, but I think we took 4 or 5 listings last week, which normally that would be probably 10 or 12. But those showings are not getting nearly as many showings as normal. So one of the things that we have done, similar to Peter, is we went out and got the 360 camera. This is the Theta V, shoots in 4K. The difference with the software that we use is we're able to go in, do a complete 360 tour of the home, but we're able to send a link to a buyer, and then that buyer can click on that link, and we basically can do a FaceTime while we're walking them through the home virtually. So it's a 3D tour and FaceTime. It's not FaceTime, but it's a video chat at the exact same time. So the quality, like Peter was mentioning, doing just walking through the home, doing a FaceTime with somebody we used to do, and the quality just wasn't that great. So we started doing these tours on all of our listings, and we can check to see what kind of activity we're getting on those, and that has massively increased. We've sold a couple of houses sight unseen just through the 3D tour. So things have definitely slowed down for us, but because of our attitudes, I think attitude is a lot. Yep. We're going to try to create and try to solve the problem the best that we can and provide value to as many people as we can. And so we're not selling as many, but we're still selling. And the reason that's important is because people still need to buy and sell real estate every day, regardless of what's going on right now.
Awesome.
So
We're selling houses. I mean, people still need to live in not in fear, and they still want to have a place on the shore. So, I mean, luckily for us, the beach is still here, and people still want to have the idea that this is going to end. This isn't going to be forever. And when the summer hits, I want to have a place at the beach. So, God is good and I'm in a great space. People need to live. People need to have a house. Even if it's not a second home, you need a primary residence. I mean, there's people that are already in contract to move and they're looking for a replacement property or to move up into something. Why should they not be, given that right? I'm sorry, we still live in America.
Yeah, no, 100% right. And I'll talk about that in a little bit second too. Cody, what about you? I know you're still essential. You're still showing houses, being safe.
Yeah, we're still, I mean, like everyone else has said, the amount of showings has dramatically decreased, but there's still people out there showing. Yeah, I mean, I was out last week quite a bit showing houses. It was funny. It was kind of the exact same thing David was talking about. Our county, before the state did, the county pretty much said that we were not essential and all the title companies and everybody shut down. And then the state came out like a week later and classified us and a title and mortgages and everyone as essential. So we all kind of, I mean, the offices and stuff are still closed. But yeah, we're still out showing houses. Thankfully, all the title companies and stuff are still open. So all the deals that we have under contract are still closing. I'm very fortunate. I had several in the pipeline and knock on wood have not lost any yet, and I've actually closed several the last week or so and have a few more set to close. So still pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's nothing like what most of us expected. Normally this time of year is crazy hot and we're all running around like chickens with our head cut off, but we'll get through it, I think, and it'll all bounce back in time.
Awesome, guys. So I'm gonna pick it up a notch a little bit right here, and I'll let everybody else talk to it as well. So what are you guys doing right now to be, in the forefront, right? What are you guys doing? I know everybody is in a different situation, especially us right now. We literally got shut down completely, where we can't be even next to another individual, in New York right now. So for me, I'm a little bit back in the game for the 360, but I got my camera too as well, and I'm going to be going out there to my listings and getting the camera. And what I'm doing differently right now is creating a lot of content. David and I were speaking. We're just delivering so much content right now, and every single day I'm just giving free information. One, for the agents, and two, I think a lot of it has to do with other agents are kind of like they don't know what to do. Right. So what are you guys doing right now?
Yeah, so I'll tell you exactly what we're doing. One of the things that, so I have a team, like I said, of 6 agents, and we're not really going into the office. I actually forbid my office manager from going in the other day because she's in her early 70s and she works. I'm telling you right now, this woman works harder than anybody on this screen. And I literally had to tell her to not go into the office. So one of the things that we've done is we've done this. We've done, last night, we did a little cocktail hour where the entire team got on, and we did not, I said, the first thing I said we're going to do is we're not going to talk about real estate, right? And we needed that interaction amongst my real estate family. So we're trying to stay connected that way. For the community, I normally put out a monthly kind of update on what's going on in my local zip code, and I've been doing that weekly now instead of monthly. And the reason I decided to do that was because real estate hasn't stopped here. Yes, it's slowed down, but it hasn't stopped. And I think that the more people talk about doomsday, the faster doomsday is going to get here. And then people are going to say, well, I told you it was doomsday. Well, I told you prices were going to go down. Well, the prices didn't go down because of the coronavirus and it's all being locked up. Prices went down because you guys talked about prices going down. And then people stopped buying because everybody talked about prices going down. So I wanted to inform my zip code of what's going on, how many homes are being listed, how many homes are being sold, how many homes are being withdrawn from the market. I want to give real data. And so far those numbers have been, yesterday we had 20 homes listed in this zip code in that week. We had 33 homes go under contract, and we had 4 homes withdrawn. So that's showing them that it's not doomsday out there and that we are still selling homes. because I want to try to put out as much of a positive information as I can for those that have to move, right? I'm not trying to convince somebody that they should move. If they don't want to move, that's fine. But for those people that have to buy and sell real estate, I want them to know that it's still happening. Interest rates are still really good, and that they have the ability to still purchase, and people are buying and selling homes in this area.
So using the platform right now to kind of interact in social media, that's what you're telling them.
Yes, and you know, for most of you guys that know, I mean, I'm really big into farming. I mean, we mail 20,000 pieces every 3 weeks, and pretty much everybody in this zip code is sick of seeing my face because my face is on everything. But
we do,
you know, yeah, trust me, I know, you've told me. So one of the things that I've done is I've backed off of that just for the next couple of months, and I've upped my social media because everybody's on Facebook. Everybody's on TikTok, everybody's on Instagram. So I'm doing a lot more Facebook stuff now and Instagram stuff than I ever have. And you know, once everything is lifted, I'm going to go back to doing my farm cards, and I'll, you know, do a little bit on social media still. But that's the only tweak that I've made at all in my business.
Awesome. Peter, Cody, what about you, Chip? And then we'll go into everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, just like David, we're doing, you know, touch bases with our team pretty frequently on Zoom meetings and stuff like that. And a lot of what we're doing is just talking about our daily lives and things like that instead of the real estate aspect also, just to kind of keep everybody's attitudes up and keep everybody positive. And then also kind of just talking about our individual experiences and what we're seeing out in the market right now. So where we are, because the inventory is so low, but there's still active buyers, you know, any house that's priced well that has even relatively decent marketing is getting multiple offers. So we talk a lot about strategy and how to win those, and just how to facilitate transactions and that kind of thing. You know, just like when we're not in a pandemic, the goal is to always keep your agents feeling like they're providing more service and better service than anybody else, and keep them on top of their game. So provide them as much information as possible, so that no matter what the climate is or whatever is happening in the market, that they're on top of things and able to do a better job than the competition. So we've really been focusing a lot on that.
So providing a lot of information, guys. I mean, hear him out. He's providing a lot of information to all his clientele and data right now and what's happening. So we got to be on top of that. A lot of the agents are not doing that. So make sure you do that. What about you, Chip?
We're speaking to a lot of our past clients, and particularly because we are in a second home market and we have people from, you know, 3-4 hours away, trying to get a heartbeat as to what's going on in their community, and then in turn sharing and disseminating the information what's going on in our community. Because being in a second home community where people have vacation homes, a lot of people here locally were concerned that people from New York, North Jersey, where the virus was really concentrated, would be coming into our community. So a lot of people got real small-minded and crazy and like, oh, we don't want anybody coming. All of our local mayors have put out letters stopping all short-term rentals. So anything less than 30 days has actually been nixed right now. So talking to our past clients, particularly those who have investment properties, as to what they're seeing, is anyone canceling for the summer yet? Things of that nature, so that we could kind of allow that information to get throughout all of our past clients and maybe, you know, potential buyers down the road, so they know exactly what's happening locally here.
Awesome. What about you, Cody?
So the one thing that I'm doing, which I was doing before, but I'm even doing more so of, is I'm huge on Facebook. I do a lot. I mean, I spend money. I do a lot of Facebook ads, and I do a lot of videos. And I'm actually here later today. I'm getting ready to go out, and I'll probably spend 2-3 hours filming videos. But on top of videos, you know, I'm doing tours of listings and stuff like that, but I'm doing other things. You know, I just did one about, you know, how to stay positive and stuff like that. And I'm actually working on one right now where I'm going to highlight small businesses in the area. So I'm in the process of reaching out to small businesses and saying, hey, I'm working on this thing where I want to highlight you in a video, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to highlight 10, 12 small businesses. And I think right now that's a big thing to do, is, you know, let's not talk about real estate all the time, but let's let's do something besides that and kind of keep things up and, show people that, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I mean, I tell you real quick, for anyone that does Facebook or wants to look into it, it's the cheapest it's been from what I hear, like, ever. I mean, to run ads, video ads and stuff like that, I mean, right now it is dirt cheap to do.
Yeah.
So you might look into it because I've noticed a huge jump in my business, and I just started doing Facebook videos and stuff in January. And I mean, it's paid dividends that, I just crazy dividends.
Nice. So I'm gonna talk about myself, what I'm doing a little bit differently. Then I'll go to Joshua. Then I'll go to Sumit, and then we'll kind of end it off and how to stay positive for the agents. For me, like I said, right now, when everything just came at one shot, I was like, "What the hell happened? What am I gonna do right now?" Because we were completely eliminated from the market. I mean, you couldn't do anything. It was people calling you, telling you, I don't want to list my house. I don't want to go show. So after everything kind of calmed down, and then obviously talking to the top agents right here as well, and we said, you know what, 360, right? For us, it's 360 tour. And I think Anthony's going to add something really, really valuable right after this too as well. So one of the most important thing was that I was kind of coming late in the game, but for me, it's creating a lot of content. So if you're an agent out there watching this, and even if you're brand new, even if you're seasoned agent, we need leaders right now. We need you to go out there and put data so that way, I'm hearing my buyers tell me, oh, well, is our prices going to go lower? Well, they're not. The inventory is still the lowest ever, right? Interest rates are, some could talk about that. So, but we're not hitting that market. Are we going to have more foreclosures? I don't know yet. But what I do know right now, there's not enough inventory for the buyers that we have. So go out there, create a lot of content every single day. If you don't know what to create, go watch other people do it. And that's what I did, right? I just started watching other people and creating my own content so that way I can give it to my channel. So again, duplicate what you see and what you hear. So that's what's been working for me. And I don't know how much content I already created. I have about another 2 more weeks of content that I'm going to keep putting out. So that's really important. I'm going to bring Joshua in. Joshua, what are you doing differently right now in yours in inspections? And
yeah, differently. What we're doing differently is definitely taking safety precautions, big time. We're going into homes. We have booties on, gloves, masks on. It's expected. You're not walking into a house without that. That's number one. And in addition to that, I mean, we've been steadily busy. It's slowed down a lot. Like you said, someone said before, we should be running around with chickens without a head. That's how it was last season. So it's kind of a little breather right now. But we're still active on social media. I think that, you have to put out content, information. I think that we need to get together in different industries and do some informational calls like this that maybe we could post. That would be a great idea. I had one realtor, reach out to me. We did that. She's going to post it on her page. I'll post it. It's going to get more attention and stay in front of people. What the biggest thing is, especially being an essential, because I am an essential service, and I'm allowed to go to the property, not doing things virtually like realtors right now. So I feel like there's a little bit of resentment out there for people who have to stay home. People looking at me and looking at realtors and looking at people that are essential. Hey, you guys are still out there making money. So you kind of have to tread lightly, because I think some of the people are looking at us like number one, we should stay home like them and be broke like them, I guess. And I mean, we're allowed to go out. I'm taking safety precautions, but there's a lot of haters out there. So how do you continue to work and not have people resent you and kind of focus on the future? Those are some questions. But I think that we should definitely put some things together here to plan ahead for what's going on. I am appreciative that David Church is here, because I think that we should definitely talk about, because, I retired from NYPD, and where's everybody from NYPD going? They're going down to Charlotte. So we could definitely do some informational stuff and get some people filtered down to your way. That would be pretty amazing. I have a good presence here in New York. So
can I ask you a question? Because this is going to be important, right? Obviously, New York is the first one to kind of shut down completely. Now, if other states are shutting down, what do inspectors need to do in their position, right? Even if you're essential, what do they need to do right now? Or if other states are shutting down on like inspector, like New York is?
Essentially what's happening is sometimes the realtors don't show up. They just go open the door and then they leave and tell me the door is open. Sometimes they'll wait in the car and we have no contact whatsoever except for a phone call afterwards. I had one inspection yesterday. I was let in the house. I called the realtor and the buyer afterwards and just gave them the rundown. So there's zero contact. That's the way it should be right now until, we get to a normal state.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for that, Josh. Yeah. I'm going to go with Sumit. Sumit, what's happening in the mortgage world right now?
A lot is changing. Obviously, a lot has changed. But before I get into that, I just want to thank everybody. This is really, really good. A lot of information you guys shared. I'm definitely going to use. Rami, I am going to duplicate content. But I mean, what am I doing different? The first thing is I tell myself to remain positive, and that starts with any conversation I have with anybody. People are calling left and right. I cannot make payments. I cannot do this. Does not matter. I change my mindset. I make sure they change after the call their mindset and remain positive. That's number one. When I'm down, I just call a friend of mine and she talks to me and I get okay. But I have to have a system every day because it's tough. It's tough to go through these times. Having said that, we try to be as close to normal as possible. Realtors call for pre-approvals. We're always available. Clients call for pre-approvals. We're always available. I am seeing people still sign contracts. The first question is our property value is going to go down? Should I not sign a contract? I don't see that happening because there's so much the government is doing. It is very different than what happened the last time, the last recession. There were so many defaults which led to foreclosure, short sales. That's not going to happen this time. There's no foreclosures allowed for the next 90 days. Everybody's getting relief. There's more money on the way. I think it's going to be just about a 2-month turn time. Just keeping all my realtors informed that we're still in business. We're closing loans in 2 weeks. We are taking all the precautions to close. In fact, in about 10 minutes, there's a closing in my office. Literally every party sits in a separate room. So, I mean, we're taking precautions, but we're closing.
Good stuff. Maria, what about you? And then I'm gonna bring Mandeep on. She's on the phone. What are you doing? Maria's in the title business right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you real quick. Are you still doing title in the back end? And I have one important question: do the buyers need to be at the closing? Because I know the sellers could give power of attorney.
The buyers do need to be at the closing, especially to sign loan docs. But here's the thing: in New York, the title industry has been deemed so we are essential to the transactions. Closings are still taking place. They are a little bit less kosher as they used to be. So you have somebody in the parking lot, you have somebody in a conference room, you got somebody in the basement, but it is getting done. And that's one of the things I think everybody needs to kind of punch home to your clients and to your friends and your family. One, knowing that it's going to get done. It might not be that New York minute that everybody's used to, like boom, 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 get it done. We just need to have a little patience. We will find a way to work around it. There's a way to solve every problem. And I'm sure like Mandeep, everybody who's in New York, we're finding ways to work around it. And if it means working from the parking lot, if it means working from a different office, if it means working remotely, if it means just this, what we're doing now, Zooming. Are you calling me, Mandeep? I'm busy. But that's the biggest thing. And I think for me, I'll be very honest with you. I'm not big into social media world. I really am not. That's something I really don't participate in, and I should. I have ramped up a little more of my email blasts. I think Rami, Sumit, Mandeep, I've been trying to just send out a blast out there. It's not really related to COVID-19, but I hope that they're coming across more like, we're in this together. We're going to get through it. It's not going to be as quick as we hope, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes it's just a song like, hey, let's get out there. And we're going to get through it. This too shall pass. At the end of the day, it's going to be okay. And long as we keep on getting that message out there, I think sooner or later, people are going to come back and say, hey, Mandeep, thanks for being by my side. And thank you for coming to that closing with me. And they're going to say, Sumit, thank you so much. We were so unsure of ourselves, but you made me feel comfortable. And I had a certain comfort level. And there's a certain trust that COVID-19 can't break. So that's the biggest thing, is just knowing, trusting the people you're dealing with and having that confidence that it's going to get done. And it might not be done in a week or 2 weeks that everybody's used to, but it will get done. So that's the biggest message we're trying to get through to everybody.
Awesome. So Anthony, again, he brought a really valid point, especially in this world of virtual. And I wanted to share his point and what he's doing differently in the back end.
Hi, everyone, again. So before that, you know how you be asking people, how do they stay positive and everything else? And how do they get in their mindset away from this constantly every hour, every minute, COVID-19 virus and so forth? So I actually have a list of things that I've been telling the agents to trying to sort of reset their mindset. The first thing that you need to understand is that this crisis, number one, was not created by you. The best thing that you can do, and the only thing that you can control, is where you are in your action. So the fact that you can stay at home, you are already contributing. You do not want to be that agent that spent the last 5 weeks sitting at home, just watching news, eating, and doing nothing. Review on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. Second thing that agent is, you also may want to reach out to previous client, and at the same time that you're checking in with them, and ask them, if now that they have the time, if they can take the 5 minutes and give you a testimonial. And we have developed an actual app that allow the realtor to host virtual tour. The consumer just is going to turn around, search for property, just like they do with realtors.com and Trulian and so forth. They locate the property, they click on the property, and at that point of time, the system automatically bring up the agency disclosure form and give the person a tutorial, give the person an understanding what is it that they are looking at.
Right.
And they agree, they sign it right from the convenience of the form. They sign the agency disclosure form, they click OK, and at that point of time, the virtual tour pops up. And they can see the house and they can see everything else. Address the agency disclosure form, provide the realtor the information of who entering the house, and provide the buyer the ability to, like you guys are doing, to see the property without exposing themselves.
Thank you, Anthony, for that. So, guys, anybody can reach Anthony for that. Mandeep, what about you? What are you doing right now to make these closings happen? And we got a couple of closings coming up, so tell me some news.
Absolutely. So there's a lot that we're doing, and we're working with a lot of the sellers and buyers and banks. I have a couple of files with Sumit's office right now where I'm working with one of their loan officers, Jessica, and we've developed a system. And one of the best things that New York is allowing us to do is, if the banks give us the packages beforehand, we're able to do what we're doing right now, which is have the buyer at home sign those documents. I'm witnessing them signing those documents and them sending it over to us. So there's actually no contact. So the only time that they would be coming in is for a few minutes, where the title company sends their people to the closing. We are still doing closings in our office, definitely. And just like Sumit, it's different rooms for different people. A lot of times sellers aren't even showing up, but the documents are already signed. I'm allowed to notarize it as long as I witness my buyer on video actually signing the documents. Worst case, we're having them come in, they sign the transfer documents at the closing table, and it gets funded the next day. We are absolutely doing closings, but like Maria said, it's not happening as quickly as people are used to in New York. So, but what we've told our buyers is, hey, listen, it's not going to close today, but it will be done by tomorrow. And the same thing we're telling sellers. The banks are being very flexible. We're allowed to wire money to everybody. So we're working around it. The only thing I will say is, as an attorney, I probably should have more presence on social media. I don't either. But that being said, one of the things that we've started to do is every time a file closes, last Friday evening, I had a Zoom drink session with my client after the loan had closed. I logged on with her. She had her drink. I had my drink. We talked over everything and she was happy. It's just always still connecting with them, making them feel like, hey, even though we may not be in the same room together, we're behind you 100% and we're doing everything that needs to be done. Yeah.
Thank you. I want to wrap this up real quickly too as well. And we'll quickly go around and, we'll have everybody's information below to reach out and, wherever you are, anybody will help you out, guys. If you need anyone in here, Peter talking about, what he was doing for videos from, for somebody like Chip, who's in, in New Jersey, who's a second home for, Sumit, Maria, just reach out to us, and also Joshua. I had one question that's really important, and I guess I'm not getting a clear answer, so you guys can answer this. And a lot of agents are asking this question: why does a buyer need to be at the closing? Because sellers do not need to be at the closing, especially in New York, and you guys know that, right? So why does the buyer needs to be at the closing?
So I can answer it from an attorney's perspective. A lot of clients don't have, first of all, the video capability to do what we're doing right now. That's number one. Number two, a lot of times the loan documents are not coming in till the day of the closing. And as an attorney, we want to make sure our client understands everything they're signing. So it makes a big difference for them to show up at the closing because, again, they're the bank is lending them all this money. They don't want any lawsuits later on, realistically speaking, and neither do I as an attorney, for you to say, oh my God, the Zoom connection wasn't clear, or oh my God, you rushed me off the phone and I didn't understand what I was signing. So that's a big reason behind it, is because the buyer has the most to lose, because now they have a loan, a debt against their thing. And maybe Sumit can jump in also, because from a lender's perspective, what they feel, but from an attorney's perspective, we need to make sure our clients understand and don't feel rushed. That's as simple as put.
So from our point of view, to actually get around that, Rami, we've been we've tried this in other states where we are e-closing. The only problem is right now on the FHA side, Ginnie Mae does not accept e-sign mortgage and e-sign note. So that's where we're stuck. We expect, hopefully by next month, for us to be not 100% operational on this, but get close to being there. So even buyers could actually not be there, but just do a Zoom call or video call, something like that.
Sorry, just one quick thing on those e-signatures. Just keep in mind, Sumit, Mandeep, when or if this ever comes to play in New York, we have to be very careful where we're doing these e-signatures, because not every single county accepts them. They do still require wet signatures. So obviously with all these EOs, with Cuomo signing all these executive orders, things may change, but currently, like right now, I don't know how quick, I don't know how progressive New York is going to be if the e-signature does come into New York. I don't know if this is going to be something that acts as a catalyst to stimulate the e-signatures. But just to piggyback off of what Mandeep and Sumit were saying, buyers have to be there because of it's a liability perspective. Later on down the road, God forbid, somebody has to foreclose or there's an issue or what have you. The problem now is you don't want anybody coming back and saying, oh, that wasn't me, I didn't sign that, or what do you I didn't understand that, or what do you mean? So that's why it's very, very important for the buyer to be there from a title perspective, a bank's perspective, a legal perspective. The last thing you want is somebody to play, oh, I didn't know. So that's why the seller can get away with just not being there.
Awesome. Peter, you want to add something?
Just that one of the reasons that the lenders have an issue with it is because the secondary market doesn't allow electronic signatures. And so even if your bank is okay with it, if they're going to try to sell the loan later, if the secondary investor doesn't allow wet signatures, they're not going to be able to sell that loan. So like in Maryland, they did an executive order where we were allowed to do the electronic signatures, which wasn't an option for us previously. But in practice, the title companies still aren't doing it because the lenders aren't allowing them, because they wouldn't be able to sell the loan afterwards.
So good information, guys. Good information. All right, we're going to go ahead.
If you have a cash buyer, though, we have a closing next Friday with a cash buyer, and they're allowing her to make the purchase without having to come to the closing.
So I guess everybody's completely different in where county and where you're at. Thank you guys for adding this. Last words, and I want this to be really powerful for agents out there. How do you weather this storm right now? And just a couple of words, guys, because I hate having a long Zoom meeting. A couple of words, what you guys doing right now, and what you expect, to happen out of this and really to helping all the agents that are in this funk right now?
The one thing I'll say is find somebody that's positive, at your go-to person. Because, listen, I'm a human being. I'm sitting on the couch. I walk into the pantry and I look around, then I go sit down, then I get up and I walk into the pantry and I look around, then I open the fridge, right? I'm flipping channels. The beard was growing. And then I did a FaceTime with Rummy, and Rummy yelled at me, basically, right? He's like, and he got me out of my funk. And I'm not a guy that gets in a funk very often. So find one person, try to stay positive, and that's just not for today. That's life, right? Don't hang around negative people. Don't let negative people put negative thoughts into your head. And when you're finding yourself in a funk, have that one go-to person that that if you call, they're going to be positive and they're going to help you get out of that funk. That's the best thing I can tell you.
That's awesome.
I agree with him. Stay positive. And it's so funny that Maria is one of the people that makes me stay positive. And it's funny to say, but her emails help. We constantly are getting messages from her and we're always joking around, but absolutely look for that one person. And, keep drinking. That's what makes
exactly.
I'm sorry. That helps me.
Yeah, Deep, I'll share with you that I'm usually a little buzzed when I send those emails.
See, I'm telling you.
Spelling the typos.
Maria, you want to end this? What do you?
Yeah,
what are you?
all kidding aside, some of you guys may or may not know, I coach. It's one of the things I love to do. I love giving back. And one of the things I tell the kids, it's huge. And I tell them, you got to take it with you. Not just in the field, the courtroom, or the classroom, in life. When they push, you got to push back. Don't ever let anyone push you down. Push back, come back stronger. And the same thing with COVID. We can't let this push us around. We got to push it back. We know what we're dealing with. We know how to handle it. Be safe, be smart, and push back. Don't let anything push you down.
Awesome. Anthony, real quickly, last words.
Listen, this Maria said before, this one shall pass. Just get ready. You don't want to be flat-footer. That's what I told all the agents. Don't be flat-footer. Don't wake up the day after and realize that you spent the last 5 weeks sitting on your hands and you did not took advantage of the opportunity to prepare yourself. That's
awesome.
All agents.
Chip, what about you?
Don't let anybody steal your energy. We're all in control of our own mind. And turn off the news. Pick up a new skill. There's so much stuff online today. There's no reason why we can't come out of this better than we were today.
Awesome. Cody, what about you?
My last words, I'd say, would just kind of the same thing everyone else is saying. Don't be negative. Don't be a negative Nancy. You can see things two different ways. You can always be negative, or you can always see the positive sides of things. Stay positive, and it'll pass.
Awesome. Joshua.
Yeah, I definitely say be positive. To my realtors out there, I suggest you guys, when you do have an inspector, hopefully it's me, go to a property, get a hold harmless agreement signed. This way, because you really have nothing to do with it. So I would say have that signed. Other than that, let's get a really good social media presence going so people know who you are. I think it would be a great idea if, like, Mandeep and I could have a little conversation, maybe question and answer, post it up on Facebook, Instagram, same thing with Maria. You know what I mean? People in the title, people don't know what title is. Let's have a conversation. Let's post it. Let's get it out there.
Awesome. Peter.
Yeah, I think my actually biggest takeaway from everything that's been going on is just try to remember that whenever you're interacting with the public, that a lot of people are going through a really difficult time right now, whether they are feeling the sickness, whether their job has been impacted and that kind of thing. So there's a really fine line that you have to cross when you are putting yourself out on social media. Just try to remember that not everything is always a sales opportunity. Be as authentic as you possibly can and just be yourself, but don't put yourself out there right now. Be mindful of what people are going through. Don't try to make everything turn into a potential sale. And people will remember that when things get back to normal, that you weren't a salesy, pushy kind of person during this time, and they'll appreciate that.
That's awesome, man. That's actually really awesome. Thank you for that. Sumit.
I'd say take one day at a time. Just stay positive. This, like everyone is saying, this will pass. And look at the glass half full. And just imagine whiskey in it. We'll be fine.
And my wife said the same thing. Don't come home without some wine. so I'll leave off, guys. You know, we all gonna go through a funk. I did that too as well when we first kind of shut down. I was like, what the hell is gonna happen right now? And then you have to come with everybody. I think I took everybody's information here and really moved forward. And I'll share what I shared with my son the other day. Hard time makes hard people. And they're looking for you to kind of step up. You know, take everybody's advice, put it to yourself right now, and lead right now. And that's really the most important things, because we do need great leaders. And thank you, all of you guys, for being on today. I'm inspired. I'm happy that you guys are here. Thank you so much. Guys, have a blessed day. All the information, guys, one more time, all the information, whoever's watching this, will be below for each and every individual. Contact them, email them. Everybody that I know in here are really, really giving people. So they will share with you everything that they know about anything in their industry. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Take care.
All right, guys. Be well.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Bye.